Okay guys, this is the second video. Hi, it's Landon from RH. This is the second video I'm doing in that series about how to create a meets and bounds land description for a proposed parcel. Just based off a site plan. This is the kind of preliminary site plan we got from our client. So in the last video, we went ahead and created a design line work drawing, a boundary design line work drawing, and we put this line in, created this line, just based off some features we could see here in the aerial. That's one good reason why we try and do a good survey grade aerial on all of our projects like this. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to go in and run the closure for the proposed parcel so that we can write our land description. So in our mapping folder of our job, I created a new folder. This is called the BTS Proposed Parcel LDP, or Land Description Package. And I have the closure in here. I'm going to go ahead and open that up. Okay, and I actually made a copy of it, so it has the design line work in it, which we don't want. So we're going to go ahead and insert a couple of XREFs. And I think in this case I'm going to keep the XREFs, so I'm going to go ahead and get them on their layers. So we're going to have an XREF for our boundary line work, and we're going to add another layer, and that is going to be an XREF for our boundary design line work. Those aren't the same thing. And we'll make both of those layers blue. Okay. So let's go ahead and drop those in, and you guys will see what we're doing here. So we're going to add the boundary line work first. So that's all the kind of the existing line work, and we'll make sure that we've got that on the right layer. Oop. And then we'll add our next XREF, which is our design line work. Oh, something didn't work there. Let me try. Whoop. Let me try that again. Maybe I grabbed the wrong one. I think I did. I want design line work. All right. It's giving me a hard time with that, and I'm not sure why. It might be because we have a block with that name or something. Let's try it again. That is really weird. Alright, so I'm obviously having some problems here. Let me pause this video real quick and figure out what's going on. Alright guys, I don't know what happened there. I think I'm having some issues with getting file changes to sync. So I've got my existing line work XREF'd in, and I manually dropped in the design line work. So I'll have to try and fix that in a little bit when the sync issues are resolved, hopefully. So now all we want to do is get some line work that we can use to create a closure report. So what I want to do, I'd like to get a polyline, and I was going to create it with the boundary command, but it really works better for legal descriptions if you draw it manually. But I don't need all these other layers. So let's go ahead and turn off some layers, because that will help us. So I'm going to grab all of these XREF layers in our boundary line work XREF, and I'm going to turn them off, except I want my fee parcel layer. So we'll turn that one on. So this is basically now the shape we want. And because I care about the starting point, I'm going to manually draw this polyline. So I'm going to just run the polyline command, and I'll start here. And now you want to be careful that you don't miss any segments here. I think I've got a curve. Of course I have a curve. So we'll have to deal with the curve in our land description. I'm going to come down my design line, and then we'll come back up. Okay, so now we've got our polyline, and we can actually unload this now. I'm going to unload that XREF, and I'm going to send this to the back, and I'm going to delete this design line work for now because I want to add it later as an XREF. Okay, so let's create a layer for this polyline. We don't want to leave it on layer 0, so we're going to call this. And I'm going to have to work with Elena, and have to work with her so she can help me figure out what these layers need to be called. And we may already have a standard. We probably do. So I'm going to call it survey lines boundary design. I'm going to say closure. Let's call it fee parcel closure. And I'm going to make that a gray, and I'm going to make it a dashed line. Okay, so we'll get that on there. Get that on that layer. Whoops, sorry. All right. Okay, so now we have our polyline. It's on the right layer. Let's go ahead and run our closure. Now to do that, I'm going to pause the video, and I'm going to jump over to, I'll jump over to Carlson. Alright guys, I'm back. I got Carlson Survey open, and we have our closure drawing open with the shape here. And what we want to do is run what Carlson calls a polyline report, and I got to remember how to do that. So give me a second. You can tell my CAD skills are getting a little rusty. Let's see. Survey, polyline tools, polyline report. There we go. So it's going to say select your polyline. And it runs the report here, so it's like a closure report. So let's just go ahead and save this. So I'm going to just save it as closure text there. And now we have what we need to start drawing our land description. Start writing our land description. So I'm going to excuse me, I'm trying not to say Let me minimize this. We've got a couple minutes left, so let me show you how we're going to start the land description since we've got a couple minutes. We can do the caption, I think, in the next 2 or 3 minutes. So we are going to drop down here and grab out of our templates folder. We are going to grab our land description template. Oh, why don't I see it here? Oh, it might be under land description packages. Alright, here it is. I'm going to grab this template, and we're going to drop it right here in this same folder. And we are going to rename this. We'll put the job number in front and the date, 2501. 23 BTS LVP. All right, let's open this up, see what we got. Okay, so this is not a drainage easement. I'm going to say BTS proposed, and I'll come in here in a minute and I'll edit that header. Okay, so what we want to do is we just want to edit this caption, and to do that I always try and find a fairly recent map. Will usually help you with the caption. And so in this particular job we have our own map, so let me open that up. Alright, so here's our map. So we've got 16 parcels in Section 30, Township 3, 9 East, da 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 da. Alright, so we can use that. I'm going to just pull that over. So we're going to say the real property, and I'm going to put a deed reference in here. So I'm going to say described in, and we'll put XXX for the deed reference. Described in, we're going to say line within Section 30, Township 3 South, Range 9 East, in the city of Modesto, county of Stanislaus, state of California. And we need to say Mount Diablo, baseline, and meridian here. Okay, so we need our, I didn't spell described right. We need our deed reference here. So we always keep the current vesting deed. I shouldn't say always, but we try to always keep the current vesting deed in boundary research deeds. Subject parcel. Oh, look at that! I made a liar of myself. You know what? It's in a previous job. This has had more than one job number, so let me grab it. Okay guys, so I got the deed reference in here. So I said the real property described in document number yada yada, Stanislaus County records, and recorded on. I put the date of the deed. And then I say down here, more particularly described as follows. And also, we aren't describing all of the property in this deed, just a portion. So we're going to say the real, we're going to say the portion of real property described in da 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 da, and more particularly described as follows. Our caption's done now. We can go in and do the rest of the land description. I'll do that in a separate video. Thanks for hanging in there. We'll wrap up this legal in the next video, I hope.